How's it going, everyone? It's Adam from Life of Adam, and today I have a brand new lifeguarding tip video for you guys. And now today I'm going to talk about, is lifeguarding hard? Now today I'm going to be focusing on the lifeguard job itself. I'm not going to be talking about becoming a lifeguard. If you want tips of how to pass the course, how to pass the tests, the prerequisites, everything you need to know of becoming a lifeguard, definitely watch my videos on my channel and consider subscribing. But today we're going to talk about a normal lifeguard job at a lake, an outdoor pool, a beach, or like a water park. Now every lifeguarding job has tasks that you need to complete. It might be checking the chlorine in the morning, moving lane lines, bringing out equipment, setting up umbrellas. Each job has small tasks that you have to do, and these are very straightforward and they're very easy. So don't worry about, oh, I don't want to become a lifeguard because I have to set up lane lines or check chlorine. They'll teach you how to do that, and it's pretty easy. It's just kind of annoying at times. Another thing that's pretty straightforward and manageable to do is scanning a pool. Now, there's some tricks to it because obviously if accidents happen, lifeguarding isn't so straightforward and easy anymore. But let's say you're watching a pool and there's not that many people in the pool. There's like 5 kids, it's late, it's about to close, and you're sitting there, you're by yourself like 30 more minutes, and they're well behaved. Obviously scanning the pool is gonna be pretty easy because you know there's 5 kids in the water, they're all hanging out in one area, and it's really easy to enforce rules. But if there's a bunch of kids, it's a crowded pool setting, then it becomes a little bit trickier because it's all about enforcing rules as a lifeguard. If you're one of those lifeguards who's afraid to blow the whistle, afraid to yell at kids or tell them that they're doing something wrong, then lifeguarding might not be for you and it'll be a little challenging. But you gotta have the confidence in yourself. You gotta be able to like, listen, this kid just did a flip. I'm gonna blow the whistle, I'm gonna call him out. I'm like, buddy, you're not allowed to do that. If they're hanging on each other, they're like grabbing each other, pushing each other underwater, then like you have to be able to enforce rules. You have to be alert. You gotta be able to see those things quickly, because if you let them play out, bad things might happen. Scanning the pool itself is pretty easy when there's not a lot of people, but if there's a lot of people, it becomes more difficult. You gotta be alert. You gotta be able to enforce rules in a crowded environment. So in that sense, it's like in the middle. It's not like impossible to do, and it's not like super easy. It's like a 5 on a 1 to 10 scale. Now the last thing is actually performing rescues, because obviously you got to take into account performing the rescues if rescues do happen. Now rescues themselves are very rare. Like I've been lifeguarding for 6 years. I've only had to make like 7 or 8 rescues, which is like about 1 rescue a year, maybe. Sometimes I had 2 in 1 year and 0 in 1 year. It's like, you never know when they happen, but they're extremely rare. So don't think of it as every day you go to work and something's gonna happen, you gotta get ready. But you don't want to have the opposite mindset of, oh, I'm going to go into work and nothing's going to happen. You got to be in the middle. It's like, listen, accidents are very rare, especially severe ones, but I'm going to be alert at all times and I'm going to be ready to handle any situation. There's plenty of days that are super easy. There's not a lot of kids swimming. It's very quiet. Everyone's well behaved. You go in, you sit in a chair, you basically scan the pool, and it's pretty peaceful. But there's gonna be other days where a kid scrapes his knee, a kid hits his head, and he like starts crying, he bumps into his friend. There's gonna be like situations like that. There's gonna be days where it's not as peaceful, but you gotta be able to manage it. Like you gotta be able to like put on gloves, put band-aids on kids who are bleeding, like some minor scrapes. You gotta be able to like calm kids down, things like that. That could be like a 2 or a 3 on like the difficulty scale out of 10. Now, if a severe injury happens, the difficulty goes way up to a 10, because not only are these like unheard of, they never really happen, but when they do, it requires a lot of mental toughness, it requires natural instinct, it requires quick and effective reaction times, and basically everything has to be perfectly aligned. Like for me, when there's a kid who had no pulse, no breathing, we had to do CPR, everything had to click perfectly. We had to instinctively know where to be, and we kind of worked as a team to help save the kid's life. But it's like, it's not something that anyone can do. It comes over time. So if you're a lifeguard and you're by yourself and the situation like that happens, that's like a 10 out of 10 on a difficulty scale. Like that's as hard as it can get. Like everything has to be perfect. You gotta be like an absolute legend to pull it off. But at the same time, stuff like this hardly ever happens, and it all comes down to enforcing rules and having confidence at the first place. So all of these things I'm talking about in this video are linked together. You gotta be good at all of these phases of lifeguarding, because if you're not good at enforcing rules, accidents happen, and if accidents happen, there's a higher probability that severe accidents happen. And it all starts with enforcing rules and scanning the pool in the first place. So in general, in summary, is lifeguarding hard? No, lifeguarding itself is not hard, but if you are good at preventing and enforcing rules, it doesn't need to be hard at all. So you can keep everything in a very manageable state But if you start slacking off and something serious happens, then it's very, very difficult. So you gotta be aware of that. You just gotta do your job. Just be mindful of things. Don't treat it as a joke. And at the same time, don't overthink everything. Don't think there's one kid at the pool, you gotta like zoom in on him constantly and be like, oh my goodness. Like, you gotta be relaxed, you gotta be professional, and just like if anything happens, do your best. Natural instincts, work as a team, and lifeguarding is a very rewarding experience. I hope this video helped you guys. Definitely like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.